Hello, everybody. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of What the Bell Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chaz Bell Sr. Thanking y'all again for tuning in, checking out the videos, the views, the comments, all the likes. Everything is very much appreciated. Hope everybody had a good week so far. Um, we almost at the hump, so we're gonna keep on moving. So today got a similar interesting show, like always. Um, gonna always stay positive and try to give the best stuff, but I'm gonna give it how it's giving to us. So overall, start this show off like always with some college football over the weekend. Just gonna touch base on a few games. I'm gonna start off first with undefeated Oregon Ducks. Um, they played Purdue this weekend. They smashed them. They put it on them real bad. I mean, what you expect? Purdue's 1-6, so I expected for Oregon to go ahead and do their thing on them, and they just coming off that win against Ohio State Buckeyes a couple weeks ago. Everybody remember all that. So that's Big Ten football. So Oregon's still rolling. They 7-0, doing their thing. Um, Another team, I mentioned them. I'll bring them up every week because they still doing their thing. And speaking of bringing them up, BYU, Brigham Young University, they 7-0 currently. Right now, they are ranked 11th in the country. So the college playoffs is 12 top teams. So BYU, the way they moving, they will be in those playoffs. So I don't care who you are. Um, be careful because I think that's a team that you don't want to really face. They doing their thing, man. They number one in the Big 12. And I speak on the Big 12 a lot because I think a lot of people sleep on the Big 12. And stop doing that because I feel like honestly it don't matter what conference you in college football. Like I said before, the SEC is always talked about as the best conference, the strongest conference. And I'm just one of those guys that once upon a time, yes, they were. And the SEC is still tough. Don't get me wrong with tangle to twist my words. I just want college football world to know that these other conferences, man, got good teams in it, and these young men who are playing at these colleges, man, everybody's not just committing to Ohio States and Alabamas and Georgias and Texas and Auburns and things of that nature. They're going to BYU's. They're going to all these other teams, low key, quiet kind of colleges. Staying on the SEC, it was a hell of a game this weekend between number one ranked at the time Texas Longhorns and Georgia Bulldogs. Um, I don't know what Texas really thought, but Georgia wasn't playing. Georgia's tough. They won that game 30-15, and I was being a little petty. I was not excited, but I was cool with them losing because my Buckeyes caught a loss against Oregon. So I kind of wanted the top teams to all be kind of similar and having that one loss. And that's what happened. Georgia came and put it on Texas. Um, Texas got to figure out what they're going to do with this quarterback situation. They got a young Manning back there. Um, um, is it Archie? Or is Archie the dad? Anyway, the young Manning quarterback who's been coming in behind yours, um, um, he's Eli and Peyton's nephew. It's their brother's son, obviously. So a lot of people want him to get in there and be the starter and be the one because he's a Manning. That name ride people who can take you far. But in football, it's a sport. If your talent ain't on top, it's a reason why you're a backup. So, um, you know, Texas, figure out what y'all gonna do with y'all quarterback situation. Cause playing teams like Georgia ain't playing. And listen, this is my 7th episode of What the Bell Sports Talk. You can go back and check out my videos. Go back to my first video. I spoke about Georgia. And I said Georgia has one of the best offensive lines, if not the best offensive line, that give their quarterback so much time to drop back in that pocket and view the field. That's not worried about being sacked or being rushed. He has a comfortable pocket to see the field and to deliver the ball. And that's exactly what's still going on. I said this 7 weeks ago about Georgia. And I ain't lost my feel about Georgia. I honestly think they will be one of those teams in the National College Championship. And I said this 7 weeks ago. I'm just telling what it is. I said that and I'm standing on it. So again, Georgia over Texas, 30-15. Texas was ranked number 1. They slid to number 5. Right behind the Ohio State Buckeyes. So I'm cool with all that, man. My team's still in the top 10. Moving on. ACC, Miami Hurricanes. They still undefeated right now, 7-0. They played Louisville, which was a hell of a game, a real good game. They won by a touchdown. They was putting it on each other. It was a high-scoring game. It was 52-45. That kind of sound like a college basketball female type of score. Shit, not knocking females. Some guys' score has been like that also. Excuse me. But to put those numbers up in a football game, they were definitely doing their thing. Another team I'm about to say, I mentioned these guys. I've been mentioning them for a while. Iowa State Cyclones. They still undefeated. They 7-0. That's that Big 12 ball. And people probably like, why do you keep mentioning this team or certain teams every week on your show? I'm gonna tell you why. Because they keep winning. Teams are still winning. That means they got something to say. I'm not about to sit up here and talk about teams that's 1-6, 2-4, no. I'm talking about these dominant teams that's coming out here that'll bust your head open. These teams who are trying to make a name for themselves. These teams who are saying, I got something to say. So yeah, I'm gonna keep speaking on that. So shout out to Iowa Cyclones. They 7-0. That Big 12 is rough. Just with BYU. Pay attention what I say. These are these teams who are going to try to be there and doing it right now. So I'm not talking about winless teams and 2-5 teams, not on What the Bell Sports Talk. I'm talking about teams that need to be represented, needs to be spoke about, because I'm giving y'all the facts. I'm not talking out the side of my neck on teams that I like and teams that I wish do well. I'm talking about teams who are doing well, teams who are winning. So as long as they're winning, you're going to hear it from me. So again, Iowa State Cyclones 7-0. They're still doing their thing, man. Listen. For example, speaking on talking facts, last week I said on my show about the Alabama Crimson Tide. They took that loss. And I said, these guys are playing it too close for comfort. They letting teams linger in there. They're acting like they're just supposed to win games and they're the Alabama Crimson Tide like y'all used to be with Coach Nick Saban. I said, y'all keep messing around, people knocking on y'all doors, y'all going to be upset. Well, what happened this weekend? It just happened. This ain't what I'm going to say. This is what happened. Tennessee was right there. Knocking at their door. Knocked them off. So, Alabama didn't just lose. Alabama, they lost 24-17. They took their second loss of the season. Okay? Now, one-loss teams, especially an SEC team, or a top-ranked team like Alabama was, they'll still slide in a 12-team playoff. But with 2 losses, it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Y'all not going to the playoffs. It's a wrap on y'all, because it's gonna be some undefeated teams, or it's gonna be some one-loss teams in different conferences who takes that spot. And actually, going into this weekend, Alabama was ranked 7th in the country. Taking that second loss, you know how far they slid back? 15. Only 12 teams make it to the playoffs. Y'all slid back number 15 with 2 losses. So it's over for y'all. Only thing y'all can do now is just try to play out the season and try to win every game that y'all have coming up. I told you, you keep half stepping, keep playing around, these teams knocking on your door, somebody's going to knock you out of there. And Alabama, they haven't had 2 losses in a season in like 10, 15, 20 years. Like y'all, you get caught slipping, you're going to fall. And that's what happened. So that's on y'all court, man. It don't matter to me where y'all are because y'all not a priority to me. I actually like Auburn over Alabama. You know, they all in Alabama, the state. But I've always liked Auburn. Always. Rudy Johnson. Shout out to Rudy Johnson, ex-Bengal, who used to be with us. Came out of Auburn. I really liked him. I believe Bo Jackson came out of Auburn. I said last week Barry Sanders is the greatest running back of all time. And I stand on that. But Bo Jackson, everybody knows. Bo knows. Bo played baseball. Bo played football. Bo was a monster, man. His career ended short. I believe he had a very bad knee injury. But anyway, Alabama, y'all messed up. Before I finish up with college, before I wrap it up, and I'm kind of upset with myself a little bit because I've been watching one team in particular, but both of these teams, and I've been watching how they've been winning every week, and I never shouted it out. But today, you get your shine on right here. Shout out first, Army. The Black Knights. They 7-0. The Army represents West Point. West Point is the headquarters of the United States Army. In Newburgh, New York, where my father lives. And my father works at the base at West Point. Well, he works at home. Shout out to Dad. I love you, man. He work at home, but I think he still got to go in the office here and there. But West Point, Newburgh, New York. Army, man, they've been rolling. They 7-0. I think they ranked like 23 or 24, but overall, I just wanted to shout them out because they winning. They've been winning. So the Black Knights, man, keep doing y'all thing. I salute y'all, the Army. And next, Navy. Navy 6-0. So shout out to the United States Naval Academy. And the Naval Academy is based in Annapolis, Maryland. That's the home, that's the base. Man, them guys winning. They 6-0. So shout out to them, man. In case y'all didn't know about the Army and the Navy and where they from, that's just a little education for y'all. So remember that. Shout out to our armed forces, man. Last, the Indiana Hoosiers. 7-0. The Hoosiers haven't been 7-0 in football since the late 1960s, 67 or 68. That was the last time they went 7-0. They're in the Big Ten Conference. Every single week they winning. I pay attention to teams who are consistently grinding and winning. That's what I'm going to talk about. That's what I talk about. And I'm going to continue to do that. Indiana, they're in the Big Ten with the Buckeyes, man. I said before, the Big Ten, like the Oregon Ducks, it's teams, man. It's teams. People are grinding these days. Football is different. I don't care what college you are. It's different. That's what makes it so exciting, more exciting than the NFL, man. College football is multiple games on, and they be exciting. So I get a thrill out of it, man. That's why I do this. So I'm gonna keep on digging it and keep enjoying it myself. So y'all need to check it out. And speaking on the Hoosiers, lastly, they're 7 games in. Not one of these 7 games have they trailed in one of those games. They kept the lead in every single game. And listen to this, to top it off for the Indiana Hoosiers. All 7 of their games that they won by double digits. Ain't no winning by no 2-point safety. Ain't no winning by a 3-point field goal. These guys are winning by double digits. So shout out to Indiana Hoosiers, man. Big Ten. I respect y'all, man. Y'all grinding, man. So much love on that, man. All right, good with college. Just wanted to shout them out, man. So check into college football, y'all. It's exciting, and I enjoy it myself. I really do. I get a thrill out of it. I'm gonna jump into the Bengals. I'm not gonna be on the Bengals long. Not gonna be on the NFL long, but I am gonna talk about my Who Days and just some things about it. First and foremost, to start the game off, we faced the Cleveland Browns this weekend in Cleveland. Kickoff. Charlie Jones, 100-yard kickoff return. That boy was at it. Man, that boy tiptoed on that line after he got pushed, dove to that pylon and got that touchdown, man. That's how you start games off, man, with aggression, with that will that, hey, we here. It's going down. Offense stay on the sideline. Special teams, Charlie Jones, shout out to him, man. Good job. And you've been trying your best to get some breakaways on these kickoffs. I'll be seeing you swagger out there, man. But you've deserved it that one, man. Hopefully you can continue to and do that and get another one. Our offense, man, we know how our offense is high powered. We had 21 points. Like I said, Charlie Jones scored 7. Joe Burrow was able to find T. Higgins on a cross across the middle. I want to say it was like a 22-yard touchdown pass. And he also found Chase on a touchdown pass. So Higgins and Chase both got a touchdown pass. That's what gave us the 14. Charlie Jones scored the kickoff return. That was our 21 points. The Browns really scored one touchdown throughout the first and the third. It was a toss to shout out because they got their running back back. Cleveland's running back. I hate when I get brain fart. Anyway, he's back. It was a short yard touchdown, but I was glad that he was back for them guys. And that's the only real touchdown they got. That one they got late in the fourth quarter didn't even matter. So even though we didn't have that high-powered offense that we normally have, like when Joe threw 5 touchdowns last week. I'm sorry, not the week before the Giants. You're not going to have that type of game every game. But we did enough to win. That puts us at 3-4. And we're going to face the Eagles this weekend here at home. So I'm excited about that. I always go into every game feeling like we can compete with everybody and we can beat everybody. I felt like we already played the 2 best teams in football, which was the Baltimore Ravens, who played last night and got that win. It was a good game. And the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champs. They're the 2 best teams if you want to be technical. I said this before. And we all know how it went down when we faced them. We lost to the Chiefs with the last play of the game with the pass interference on us, where they were out of range. That was able to put them in range and they kicked the field goal and beat us. And against the Ravens, we messed up that snap for the field goal for Money Mac to kick the field goal to win. So again, those 2 teams, they just won. They didn't beat us. So we got the Eagles coming up. I think we'll get them at home. Shout out to defense, man. We only gave up 77 rushing yards. They had 336 total yards, but we did enough to win. So in Cleveland, we home again. So shout out to the Bengals, man. We 3-4. Let's keep it moving, man. We're on an uphill roar right now. Uphill roar. A Bengal roar. All right? So let me get into some other NFL games that happened over the weekend. And we'll go from there. So Thursday night, which was the 17th, the Broncos over the Saints 33-10. I don't know what's going on with the Saints, man. They kind of let me down a little bit because I really like them. They haven't done anything since they blew Dallas completely out of the water. They just been going downhill, man. Again, they lost 33-10, so y'all need to figure out something. And Sean Payton was their coach. Sean Payton is Denver's coach. He used to be in New Orleans for years with Drew Brees and them, man. So he came back home, if you want to call it his home, but he came and put it on them. So welcome back to them, as he said. Next game, Jaguars over the Patriots 32-16. That puts them at 2-5 because they were on that level of the weakest team in the NFL. Now it's Cleveland. So shout out to Jaguars. Seahawks over the Falcons 34-14. The Bills over the Titans 34-10. And shout out to Amari Cooper, who came from Cleveland just this week, went to Buffalo, got his first touchdown pass. So shout out to him for that. Next game, it was us, the Bengals against the Browns. And we just went over all that. But, man, listen, that's sad. Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles. And all you heard in the crowd was, "You deserve it. You deserve it." How do you do that as a fan? How do you be like that as a human being? This man, he dropped back. He was about to take off. If you didn't watch the game, and he just hit it, tore that Achilles tendon, and the nerve of the fans to yell that out, man. This man was sitting on the back of that cart getting wheeled off, and he had tears in his eyes, man. You got to remember, in everything we deal with, whether if it's TV, at work, children, family, anything. First thing is first, we are all human beings. We all have feelings, emotions. We all feel a way about things. It don't matter if I have $300 million or I got $300. Okay? Take a $300 millionaire and a $300 guy and take a metal pole and hit both of them in their shoulder one at a time with the metal pole. Are we both going to react the same? Yeah. Because that is going to hurt. If we lose a relative, a family member, a close friend, is that going to hurt our hearts and make us sad and make us want to cry? Yes, because we are human. We have emotions. Hurt, love, pain, anger, guilt. It's so many emotional traits to us. And for this man to go down and hurt himself and y'all yell, "You deserve it," Cleveland, y'all should be a damn shame of yourselves. That's the type of stuff right there to make y'all not win another game. So I pray for Deshaun Watson and his family that he gets a speedy recovery. And it'll make me feel like, do I even want to play for this organization again, man? Y'all fans, that was horrible and terrible, man. Y'all should feel ashamed of y'all damn selves for that. So, and there was a lot of injuries over the NFL this weekend. The guy for Detroit, his leg just twiffled and turned him. And I was watching Tampa Bay and Baltimore last night, and the receiver for Baker Mayfield with the Buccaneers, his name was Goodwin. His ankle just dangled. Like, man, it's a lot of injuries. We lost one of our guys, Geno Stone, our free safety. They call it a high shin injury. I don't know exactly what that is, but I don't want the top part of my shin hurting because that don't even sound. I don't want nothing on my body hurting. All that sounds horrible. So speedy recovery to all those guys, man. I don't want to see nobody get hurt. I don't care. Like, I don't care too much for Patrick Mahomes, and I didn't care for Ben Roethlisberger with the Steelers and stuff, but I still never ever will wish any harm or hurt on any of those players, man. I'm a human. I'm a man first. These people got families and children and stuff that they got to go home and deal with, and you want to see them all tore up and messed up. Man, that's horrible. You need God in your life. You need blessings, because that's dark-hearted. That's hateful. We need to get over that as a world. There's too much of that going on. All right, moving on. Texans took a loss to the Green Bay Packers 24-22. Dolphins took a loss to the Colts 16-10. Lions over the Vikes 31-29. They gave the Vikings their first loss. That was a tough game. It was only by 3 points. Moving on, the Eagles over the Giants 28-3. Again, I said we got the Eagles this weekend at the Jungle. I think we'll get them. Saquon Barkley, they running back. He's the only one I'm worried about. But we got Rankins back, B.J. Hill back. He rushed for 176 yards last week. You ain't doing that in the jungle, boss. And you my favorite running back in the game right now. It ain't happening, Captain. All right. The Rams over the Raiders 20-15. Washington Commanders over the Panthers 40-7. Them boys still rolling, man. So shout out to them. They 5-2. Kansas City over the Niners 28-18. Steelers over the Jets 37-15. You know how I feel about the Steelers. Last night, Buccaneers over the Ravens over the Buccaneers 41-31. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry together, them cats had over 500 total yards. Derrick Henry, 169 yards, 15 carries, man. And lastly, the Cardinals over the Chargers, 17-15. So, yeah, that's it on that, man. That was my quick little segment this evening, man. I'm trying to keep it under 30 minutes. Shout out to everybody who been supporting me. Hope I'm giving y'all just some stuff to think about and check out on your own. Again, everything I say to you guys, it's not what I'm saying. These are facts. Go look this stuff up. Go watch everything I say. Man, I tell you no lies. I'm reporting the news. You might see it on your phone or hear about it, but you ain't hearing about it like you're getting it from me. So, if you into NBA, the NBA tips off officially tonight. It's 2 games on. We got the defending champions, Boston against Boston? Oh, the Knicks. That game coming at 7:30. Check that out. And then the second game, late game, Lakers. That's my team. Over the Timberwolves against the Timberwolves. That's at 10 p.m. All those games on TNT tonight. So check that out, man. And then tomorrow, if you're really into the NBA, it's 10 games on. So enjoy the sports, man. It helps stay in the house, man. It keep you out of trouble, man. Watch some sports, enjoy yourself. Hey, again, this is my 7th episode of With the Bell Sports Talk. I appreciate everyone. Care about you, love you. And we'll talk next week. Have a good one. I'm out. Peace.